This is a look ahead to Friday's key political and financial events. Efforts to prevent the US economy going over a fiscal cliff, once again the key focus for investors. President Obama has cut short his Christmas holiday in Hawaii to try and revive budget crisis talks back in Washington. A senior administration official told reporters travelling with the president that senior Republican leaders in Congress and House Speaker John Boehner should step up to head off the looming tax and spending hit. IG's Will Hedden says there won't be a deal before the 31st of December deadline.
I don't think we expect it this week. Obviously New Year's Eve as well. It's going to be difficult to see anything done there. Perhaps we'll see extended negotiations over the weekend, but obviously the fact that Congress needs 48 hours to get in and the weather in the northeastern US are likely to hamper that. I think the chance of there being a deal done in perhaps a week or two's time quite high once we get through the other side of the fiscal cliff and the pressure really starts to mount. The news that we get from America is that the electorate there is starting to get very disgruntled with the way politicians aren't really moving forward on this. So perhaps we're going to see a deal within a couple of weeks, but we're not expecting it to be done by New Year's Eve at the moment.
The only real standout tomorrow here in Europe is an Italian bond auction. This marks the start of Italy's drive to meet its 2013 funding needs. Italy and Spain will be a particular focus early next year, with Madrid still likely to make a request for EU aid. Italians go to the polls in February, and there's scope for an unstable outcome, which could tilt the Eurozone back into crisis mode. Mario Monti says he would consider a second term as Prime Minister if approached by allies committed to backing his reforms. IG's Hedden says the election is putting Italy back on his radar.
I think with what we're learning now in the political situation in Italy with the election coming up, Mario Monti saying he's stepping down but saying he may indeed run again if the situation suits him. I think this is putting a little bit more focus on the Italian sovereign yields than we've seen in the last few weeks. We did see a short-term debt auction today, actually yields ever so slightly higher than they had been previously, and I think that's what we're going to expect from tomorrow's long-dated auction.
A few bits of economic data due tomorrow. French consumer spending expected to have been flat in November after October's fall. Details also due on France's third quarter GDP. Preliminary data showed a 0.2% rise. And Italian producer prices forecast to have fallen again in November, but at a slightly slower pace than the previous month. In world news, attention focused once again on efforts to bring peace to Syria. International envoy Lakhdar Brahimi has been in Syria this week holding meetings with President Assad and a number of opposition figures. Brahimi has denied speculation his visit is to propose a peace plan agreed by Russia and the United States.
Some said, in Syria and outside Syria, that I have come here to market a Russian-American project. I wish there was a Russian-American project. There is no Russian-American project, and hence I didn't come here to market it.
That's our look ahead to Friday. I'm Jamie McGeever. This is Reuters.